Now then, you're very welcome back. So, to say the least, this is a huge week for the Irish team as they try and reach the European Championships. They play Greece this Thursday, 7:15 at the Tallaght Stadium. And then on Wednesday, the 11th of March, they are away to Montenegro. And I'm delighted to say that the Republic of Ireland manager, Vera Pauw, has made time for us on what I'm sure is a very busy week. Vera, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. But it's a great week.
A great week, exactly. You have to enjoy the pressure these weeks.
Yes, and the players do also. You can feel it in the camp. Everybody is so sharp and is so ready to go on that pitch. And that's also thanks to all the promotion and all the attention that we get. And the players know that this is a very crucial game and that we have to win. So it's fantastic. That is what top sport is about, and that is what you're looking for, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I'm sure as a player, and you were a player of huge experience as well now as being a manager. As a player on those bigger weeks, those bigger occasions, World Cups, European Championships, you probably often had your better performances. Yeah.
The best players are always pushed to their best under the highest pressure. So we have many of them. We have many players who are playing at their best under the highest pressure. And that is actually the first time that I have that in a squad. That they're players, and I called them a bit funny that our tigers, but that is what they are. The moment that they have to be there, they are there. In the away game against Greece, we had many injuries. We missed five basic lineup players, and KD was playing on the fullback, so actually 6 players on different positions. Which meant that the routines were not there as usual. But you can see this week with everybody back in, that it's just such a vibe and such a pleasure to work with them. And we're so looking forward to the game. Yeah. And especially because we now just heard that there's already 5,300 tickets being sold. That's, again, going up today. And there's still a few tickets left for the people. Not many anymore, so people have to be fast. But this time, everybody paid for it in packages or single tickets. So we do hope that everybody is turning up, and that would mean another record of attendance. And that in itself is boosting us also so much because we need the support of the players. We need them to be loud. We need them to support the moments that we need them. And I'm absolutely sure that atmosphere will even push our performance further up.
Yeah, I've no doubt. And there was a brilliant atmosphere for the 3-2 win at home to Ukraine. And yeah. I fully suspect if people have paid for the tickets this time around, they will be there. So again, it's a 7:15 kickoff at Tallaght Stadium. This game is going to be live on television. Just to remind listeners of where we are in Group 1, the table. Germany, after 4 games, are on 12 points. They are an excellent side. Ireland, after 3 games, are on 7 points. Greece, after 3 games, are on 4 points. And it's Greece, obviously, coming to town this Thursday. So the importance of this game, Montenegro and Ukraine, both on 0 points. This is the key game, really, Vera. I mean, a draw, not a disaster, but it really, you win this game and it puts Ireland in a fantastic position with Germany to come twice in future fixtures.
Yeah, you summarised perfectly. That's exactly the case. If we draw, then we're not out, but then we really have to win away in Ukraine, although we doubt if Ukraine will take all the points as well. Ukraine is on 0 points because they played Germany twice and us once, so they will gain the points later in the campaign. Yeah. But it's right, we have to win to be comfortable, and we're absolutely ready for that.
I watched the 1-1 draw away to Greece, and an away draw against Greece with the injuries, as you mentioned, is a perfectly acceptable result. But it struck me when you did your pitch side interview immediately after the game, there was certainly disappointment there. And you talked about this team having to learn to control games as a group. And the Ukraine game at home, the 3-2 win, that was a game that Ireland should have been more in control of as well. I mean, it was fantastic for the spectator, but I'm sure it wasn't good for your heart rate. So talk to us about how quickly a team can learn to control a game, because that must be one of the more difficult things to teach.
Yeah, and definitely it's also very difficult because it's been 4 months away since we've seen each other. But on the other hand, everybody is so focused. We have so much quality in the team. You can see the team growing every minute that we're together. And that is, we're just off the pitch now and walking back with the staff. We said, it's amazing if we play like this. We've not seen that before yet. So the team is growing every single day. And that is, again, such a joy to work with. But on the other hand, it gives so much trust in Thursday that we will be there, we will be ready. And if that is not enough, then we have to be honest. But we think that it is enough to steam through to become second in the group. We truly believe that we can do that. And of course, then you need to see what's happening in the playoff draw. But we think that we are only growing, and that from where the team was, they grew already so much over the last few years that we're only kicking up. And we think that that Thursday you will see the result of a lot of hard work and a lot of concentration, especially of the players.
How does the Irish women's team compare technically on the ball? Keeping the ball. How do we compare to other European countries, for instance, Vera?
The only thing that differs is that we have not qualified yet. Because the moment we qualify for finals, you will see that the game will take just another step. I've had the same process in the Netherlands, before in Scotland, with South Africa, exactly the same process. The team needs to qualify, because if you're there and you learn to play those huge games in a huge tournament under huge pressure, you grow so much in a few weeks, you don't give that out of hands anymore. So that is the only thing. We have to qualify. And after you've qualified once, you come in another group, you come in another pot for the draw, you come against other opponents, and that means that you're really kicking off to a great future.
Okay, so you get momentum and time together as well.
Yeah. But it's especially the games that you play. You mature so fast from a tournament that the next campaign, that's in your legs and in your head and in the team and in everything that you perceive. So my experience is that after that happens, the team is flying. Look where the Netherlands is now. It took us 25 years to get to the point of qualifying. And after we qualified, within a few years, we became the finalists of the World Cup and European champions within 4 years. So, that's what you need. Because players get recognized, players get other contracts, players get another position, another status. But especially better opponents to play, stronger opponents to play, and you grow so fast from that. Okay.
A question I wanted to ask you, actually, and it's probably a complicated answer, so, do your best. But, the way, for instance, people would be more familiar, for instance, say, with the male game, and they would know what Brazilian football is like and what Spanish football is like, and the Dutch football has an identity, and the Irish football has an identity. Now, I don't know why the Dutch play such beautiful football, or the Brazilians play the type of football they do, or Ireland, or why Irish footballers play the football they do. I presume there are lots of factors: physical, cultural, geographical, the weather, any number of things. Is the style of football in the women's game, does it tend to match up to what their male counterparts play? Do the Dutch women and the Dutch men play a similar brand, or is it very different across male and female sport?
It's a very nice question, because I usually don't get those questions. In the past, it was that everybody was trying to copy the United States in the women's game. So that meant everybody was trying to get very, very thick, strong legs and just power in the team and running and flying. But now the game has grown to a professional game on different positions in the world. It has grown to a game that indeed carries the culture of the country. So the Brazilian national team becomes more and more like the men's Brazilian national team. The Dutch national team plays more like the style of the men's national team. And that it's the same for Germany and France and Italy and Spain. And that is so good to see, because that means that the young female players get good education and a good development pathway. Before that wasn't the case, and we were copying each other. But now the development pathway is there, the culture is there as well. And you can really see the different cultures on the pitch now, and you can recognize the teams on the style of play.
Okay.
And that shows that the game has come into a mature state, and it's just getting more players professional, getting better coaches along the sideline, getting better programs for the players to grow to the same level as the men's game, and level in playing style. And that I don't mean in money and in the numbers of crowd in the stadiums. But if you look at the World Cup and the viewers on TV, that's exactly the same as the men, and most games are even more than like games of the men's World Cup. Yeah. More viewers, so people recognize it as football, and they just want to be part of it.
Yeah, no, it really was amazing to see it last year, how someone like, I don't know, Megan Rapinoe can become famous the world over and have that impact. Was that the best quality World Cup that we've seen in the women's game, yeah? Actually,
no. And from marketing point of view, yes. From filled stadiums, yes. From everything around and the number of countries broadcasting, yes. But 2011 has been the best World Cup, content-wise.
Right.
And that had to do that back then all the street footballers were in the teams. And now we had a phase that many players did not have a good development system. Now young players are coached and are developing from a very young age to top-level football. So that will change very much. I think that next World Cup, both the level of play and the marketing are level, and that is absolutely top football from all the teams, and not only from a few teams.
Okay, so does it follow that the coached footballers from a young age working on very nice pitches with very nice coaches and very nice footballs, do they turn out to be better footballers than the street footballers?
Yeah, that's also a nice question. You don't know, eh? For about 8 years, we're missing the street footballers, and luckily we have at least 2 or 3 in our squad now. Okay. That doesn't mean that others have never played on the street, but the real street footballers we have in the squad, and there's many teams that don't have them anymore because of the traffic and because of keeping kids inside and because of the overcoaching of players. But on the other hand, if players get a chance to play, and if they play especially a lot with boys and against boys and train with boys, then that will develop by itself and it will come back into our game.
Okay. Because when I think of the street footballers in Irish football recently, I think of Wes Hoolahan and Robbie Keane, and it's so obvious to everyone. You know, you can spot the street footballer. Who are the street footballers in the Irish women's team at the moment?
Well, everybody knows them. Denise O'Sullivan, Katie McCabe, those kind of players. They have group between boys, and Tyler Toland is another one. She's not in the squad, but she will be back. They grew from the street to teams, and they bring something extra. And it doesn't mean that others have not been playing on the street with boys or against boys, but you can definitely see that they grew the start of their game on playing with boys on the street.
Okay. Vera, people will know you're very experienced. You're 89 caps with the Dutch team. I think you were the first Dutch professional footballer, and then as a manager you led the Netherlands to the European Championship semi-finals in 2009. You've coached Russia, Scotland, South Africa. Are you enjoying your time in Ireland? How have you found it? Very much.
People think that this is this is not the same challenge. Well, it's the double challenge. Because I've never worked with a team that is so open and so up for it, and they just fight their way through to gain the status and to gain the momentum and to get what they want, and that is qualifying for a final.
Yeah.
And there's no moaning in the team. Everybody is concentrated, mature, is working together, is having fun together, and that is just amazing. I've never had this kind of atmosphere in any team that I've coached.
Okay, that's good to hear. What challenge will Greece pose then? What kind of team are Greece?
Greece is nasty, a bit mean, to be honest. So we have Spanish referees, and we truly hope that they can cope with that, because away we had some troubles with, to be honest, that it went a bit too far and nobody was stopping them. They have a few very good footballers, but we have more quality in our team. We have better teamwork in the sense of variety in our play. But they fight to the end. They fight to the 95th minute if necessary, and they keep going and going and going, especially when they see that they can get something. So it will be a very difficult game. It will not be easy, but I am confident that we have more qualities, and with the support of the crowd, it will lift us to such a height that I'm very confident that we can have a good result in the Telex Stadium.
And what is the advice to the players if Greece are that little bit nasty and the referees aren't quite controlling it? I presume at a certain stage in football you have to fight fire with fire.
No, we will fight fire with a smile. That's what we have agreed with each other. We will fight them with a smile. So we just turn around and we smile. Okay,
don't get wound up, don't get involved.
Exactly. Because that is not our play, and the only thing what we would get from it is yellow cards. Because it's not our play. That's why I enjoy it so much to play with the players, and I don't want the players to act any differently. So we said to each other we better smile than that we are going to fire things up.
Okay, very good. Well, as you said, 5,300 tickets sold for the game. It's on this Thursday. It's at Tallaght Stadium. We wish you all the very best. This is a huge game, and we really hope the crowd are up for it. I'm sure the players will be. And the very best of luck, Vera, on a busy week.
Thank you. Thank you so much.